Hello, hello, hello. And if I sound like terrible, it's because I'm still sick. Ugh. Yeah, yeah. Uh, anyway, so we're going back to Revachol and Disco Elysium. Let's see how well this goes. Especially in my inebriated state, but hey, maybe that'll get me closer to what our protagonist is feeling. Okay. I'll try not to cough directly into the microphone. But unfortunately, I will not be able to promise it. Let's see here. Make Titus give up Ruby's location. I need a proper theory for that. Ask Kuno about the armor. Probably not. I'll need to wait for that. Find a way into secret passages. Evening. Ugh. And it's... Ugh. 1700, so it's about 5 p.m. Oh. Let's see. Do I have anything that gives me a little more dramatic? No. Although that ruins my drama.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Okay. Yeah.
Kuno's like Kuno's dad? Kuno doesn't give a fuck about anything.
And I need to be more empathetic.
Kuno doesn't fuck.
Yeah.
The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now.
Well, nearly $4.
Yes?
Yellow rose in the windows, those aren't the flowers that were left for Calais.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
It's free to have a warehouse?
A warehouse? I don't know. Maybe. I don't really care what Frit does.
She looks
Come
up
on.
from under.
Fine. Frit doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
Okay.
A colourful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles line the shop wall, inviting you closer.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
Jeez. Well, based off of how I started this, I don't think I really want to get more booze.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Are you a mercenary hired by the Wild Pines?
Hell no. I'm just an honest scab. I won't have talk like that around here. You understand?
It just has to be said. That was not a convincing line.
Is there a tribunal being convened by any chance?
Fucking bog.
I'm going to interpret that as a yes. There's a tribunal, and it won't be long until it's ready.
How about you fuck off now, huh?
Okay, of course.
There could be weapons aiming at us right now, somewhere above, in the buildings. The other merc. Don't push this, he's thinking. This is not the time.
Hell no, I'm just not a scab. That doesn't sound too convincing.
Fucking loincloth.
Loincloth? Now you see, that's not what the sire would say, is it? Better not to press the issue further, sire. He seems tense.
Okay.
The man's breathing steadies, but his eyes are still narrow. Slowly, he's trying to get his right-to-work dance back on.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave now. Ooh.
So, how'd you like our harbor?
Been a while since we talked with you. Ooh.
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man, too, probably.
Yeah, it was complete shit.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye. Like men of the plain. Have any more questions? I'm set to talk.
Art said you had a key to a door.
A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open?
Yeah, something you could tell me.
Of course. I got you. You don't know anything. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
Okay. Well, I'm not opening the store for myself. I'm opening it for all working men.
I knew this man was a commie. And it's a good thing you're doing too. Thanks. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whaling and rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess.
Anything else I should know about this task? The weasel person? When he'll be home?
I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
He means he's not going to tell you, cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everard. Who he is, and what they're fighting for. This is interesting.
Why are you striking?
We're negotiating our share.
Your share.
Aye.
So, how large of a share would you like?
All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in South Africa. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
The boss man, Evart. What can you tell me about him?
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman.
What does bossing the union entail, anyway?
I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other relevant parties.
Oh, hello, Seth. Hope you're doing okay, and sorry if I sound mostly dead, but that's where I am.
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? And in this world, the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish.
Well, desks seem lavish to me.
He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would be a manipulative illusion.
That makes sense. And I hope bringing up groceries does well for you, Seth. I had to do that earlier this afternoon.
Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway, and moralism is the most corrupt of them all.
Yeah.
This man has political theory, and it has not failed him today.
So, are you a communist?
No. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself is a much older and simpler notion. No science to it at all. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't.
But the stuff you do aligns admirably well with the World Republic. Why not call yourself a communist?
I have nothing against communists. They are honorable boyaderos. And they have good analysis. But my own code serves me well. If my code starts failing, a code can fail a man as well as a man can fail a code, then I will have to submit to a new one, which may well be communism.
He knows who he is, firmly grounded, has no need to reinforce or elaborate his political identity to himself or others.
Sounds like you're a communist who thinks he isn't doing enough to call himself one.
See, I am primarily a lazy person.
Seem to have spent a lot of time thinking about the political situation.
Sure, I've had the necessary free time. Fortunately, there's always time.
I
The look in
wish.
his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. For him, having command of his time is the most important thing. It all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs, his general attitude. He's a follower of a 500-year-old Franco-Nigerian Boyadero code, itself an appropriation of Espatine cool.
Oh. Bah.
That of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, independent in your actions, loyal to your friends.
Maybe I'm a boyadero?
No,
But
no. The man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide. Yet it feels as if he could, effortlessly, go even wider, if need be. An endless torrent of time.
know anything about the Hardy Boys?
Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you.
Any idea who killed the hangman?
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing?
Well, the Merc was hanging with a very specific kind of cargo belt. Except we know all about that.
The
So
man
let's change
whispers
topic.
a jaunty tune. A coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
Good talking to you. Gotta go. After 2100.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head.
Press here again.
The leather upholstery is worn and rough against your jaw. You don't hear any movements. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you. No birds chirp.
Let's sneak
You
in.
try to be as silent as you can. It takes a bit of rattling of the handle to loosen the bolt. Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. Thoughts race through your head. There's nothing else to do than to leave and tell Everard. No conceivable reason for you to intrude on the premises. There might be important information in the apartment. I mean, there might.
Small suitcase full of clothes. Guests are staying over. Hidden world of walking sticks. Almost feel the warmth of the red sun on the flag.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty.
Well, that's with the sun.
This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle.
And what's that?
It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag.
Lieutenant, the old flag of Caesarian?
Mm-hmm. The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
By old-fashioned, he means very right-wing.
Oh. Well, we're not going to bow
The
that.
flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colourful fabric with a sun sewn onto it. Like all feudal flags, it looks like a children's drawing.
Whoever lives here admires fair hair fantasy heroes with big muscles.
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A broad-shouldered man shoveling potatoes, and others.
Oh, it's related to that mug we found.
A little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the bodies were drawn. The images betray a lack of interest in human beings. They are merely unflattering caricatures.
What do I mean by uncomfortable?
The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much.
Typical asshole.
This person is unhappy. The
Yep.
lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Yeah, compare it to that.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same humor, the same mocking lines.
Mm-hmm.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash.
Which probably means...
And now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens, as they say.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically connecting to other clues down the road.
Yep,
Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
maybe. You really think it's the same person who put the dead man's clothes in the trash?
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
You could ask Everard who this person is once you're done here.
Smell disinfectant room, smells like chemicals. Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better doing that because this person is not very nice. Yeah, no, I like him too. Blech. Oh, very, very much.
Mr. Dubois, every worker is a god, right? What can I do for you today?
Well, I opened the door like you asked me. Can we discuss the murder now?
I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
He's trying to figure out if you're lying. There is no way to sway this man in any direction. He is unsuggestible and unswayable. Just tell the truth.
I may have gone inside and seen a collection of racist mugs.
Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel. Pissing on Everart's Rainbow Coalition.
He was testing you, and you succeeded.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good.
Well, the mug collection I mentioned to you, found a similar mug in the trash with the hangman's clothes.
Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best. Helping people. With the power of politics.
Yes, yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder?
Oh, no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would never complicate things for you.
Oddly, it seems to be true.
But the weasel might have cleaned up after the killers.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine being connected to a high caliber case like this.
Thank you.
But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right?
Well, there's more to police work than whacking with an imaginary baton. True.
Of course, Harry. I'm not a real police officer. You are.
I heard about a connection between the lynching and the strike. I'd like to hear what you know about that.
By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps.
I'm listening.
Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire?
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant.
Go on.
Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container.
Wait, they just moved the container?
Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill.
Who exactly did the pushing?
There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood. making sure everything ran smoothly.
I see.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
Yeah, we've met.
Uncertainty belies his boasting. In the end, though, he believes it. Or at least, he wants to believe. So he doesn't want to counter with a narrative that exonerates the Union. But why?
How do you know the mercs were hired by the shipping company?
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
I apologize for that.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
Oh. Don't get sick, folks.
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes.
Even the company is Krenel this time. Might have been Sentiment before.
Of course. You're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me.
Well, the remaining mercs are organizing a tribunal to take on the Hardys.
Tribunal? That sounds serious, Harry. We Union men should be shitting ourselves. I wish you hadn't told me that. I'm gonna lose sleep over this. Let's change the subject.
He's clearly happy about the tribunal.
You don't seem too worried about it.
Oh, Harry, what do I really think about the tribunal? You're trying to climb to second base with old Everard before you've even courted him properly.
Yep.
He wants you to do more things for him before.
You mentioned a lawyer girl we've met.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal.
Sounds good. Tell me about Titus Hardy and his crew.
Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Got a lot of
Yeah,
initiative.
Seth. Certainly.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind.
Uh-huh.
Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets.
He's betting on them being useless to you.
Edward, I've met the Hardys. Can you ask them to cooperate with me?
But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
Right.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
Wait, why are you giving it to me?
I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real.
I don't need it. I just wanted you to help me with the Hardy Boys.
Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else?
Good talk. We'll conclude for
Was
now.
it a good talk? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the case wide open. Heck, I even wanted to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike.
Which would be?
I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet.
Yep.
Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't.
A man of the left. So you have to be a social democrat. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
What's that supposed to mean? I'm more left than you are.
You're saying it, but I don't believe you. You know how it is. Company snitches, agent provocateurs everywhere. I'm barricaded in this fortress of mine, and I need to get a message out. Will you help me?
And what
Alright.
would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
Yeah, what are the signatures for?
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez.
Sorry.
It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off drugs and on roller skates. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need 2 more signatures to get this mission off the ground, Harry.
And where is this place exactly?
On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry.
Yeah, we've been there. What'll happen to the current occupants?
They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre, designed by the best architects from Stella Marie.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Are you 100% sure no one's going to end up homeless?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing in my life. I would never let anything bad happen to them.
Yeah, Seth.
We're gonna build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. I'm looking out for all of Martinez, not just the harbour.
Okay, so the value of their properties will go up, which would mean that their property tax would go up. But their job hasn't changed, therefore they lose their house because they can no longer afford it. See, that I'm all for urban renewal and improvement and all of that stuff. I really am. But yeah, there's some stuff you gotta, like, think about.
He means it.
Kim, what do you think about
It
this?
depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
But he thinks it's your call.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the keys to Martinez. And maybe even help you figure out who's behind this killing.
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
Fine, if I happen to be there, I can ask him.
You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I heard there was some trouble with the water.
It's certainly possible.
But it should be fixed now. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then I'll know you're a solid socialist.
We can go over a few details concerning the murder again.
Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens my day like brainstorming these things with you.
Yeah, I guess
By
you got
all
nothing
means,
else.
Harry, what's on your mind?
I can't lie to him right now. He'd probably figure that one out. I'm out. Okay.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40 month construction period, and the zoning plan in the addendum.
Well, we can try to find a loophole in the deal.
There is no loophole. The simple truth is the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door.
Look, Kim, these people are going to have to move away. Can we do something about it?
I should have seen it. Evrard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone.
I'm not going to do that. Let's take a look at the zoning plan.
The youth center cuts into the ocean like the bow of some great modern ship. Apparently, it's going to cover most, if not all, of the street and the square between the existing houses. It's 3 stories tall.
Well, let's put the document back in the envelope. Let's see here. I mean, more logic is good. Of course, we could also internalize more philosophies. Anything else?
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back.
Leo, in the future, can we keep the greeting shorter?
Sure, mister. Absolutely. I'm always willing to help out nice fellows such as yourself.
Okay, I guess I'm off. You've got nothing else to say.
Yes?
Oh, nothing. Alright. 6 o'clock. 21. Guess we can talk with him and be honest about things. Decades-old concrete defenses. Children play on them now. Seems Walker was either very confused or drunk out of his mind. Probably both, considering it was probably me. See dust-covered linens, dried tulips on a bed. Cinder blocks, charred makeshift fire pit with magazine for lighting.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
Mm-hmm. Construction material. Whoever planned to build this house left in a hurry.
Good to see you, friend. Do I have deals set up for you, buddy boy?
Oh?
Does he actually know you? Or is he just shopkeep friendly?
Good to see you too, friendo.
So what do you want? I got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I got Pilsner. Great deal. You won't get a better deal on that piss. Spirits I can let go for 300 real. I also have speed. And by speed, I mean amphetamine.
Yeah, I'm good.
In a civilized world, it's a custom to tip the shopkeep, friend. But come back anyway.
Well, I tipped you 100% of everything I bought. Bushes are too thick and thorny to pass through.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old. The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth.
You must be Lillian's twins.
This one doesn't say anything, kicking the concrete with his worn-out sneaker.
Lily's our mom.
Alright. Bye.
You're not sure about the melody, but it might be South Samaran, possibly Sigayan, also known as the apricot suzunti.
All right.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
Well, we'll lean forward.
Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here. And we don't want any trouble either.
Well, I don't want to give you any trouble either.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what he said. We're cops. We don't cause trouble, we take care of trouble.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Wish you did. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen.
I mean, that is true. Usually investigations come after trouble. Wait, have I been here before?
No, not you personally. I meant the RCM.
Ah.
Some of the men got into a fight. One of them killed another. Locked himself in that woodshed over there.
Oh.
He was brooding, needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him and took him to think about what he'd done in a more secluded place. Somewhere more quiet.
She says it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat.
What kind of ill omen are we talking about?
Oh, the usual. Dark tidings. Black hound.
That's you, all right. A black hound licking your own heels.
Well, I am an ill omen, all right.
You're not. No one around here considers us an ill omen. People would have told us.
Maybe they are afraid.
Why?
Because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here. As long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then. Because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor carriage. And not a lot of houses. Or a lot of people. My kids are long gone. Searching for treasure. So are others.
I see.
Look at me ramble on. What brings you to us?
Oh, true. I found this jacket, but it's filthy. Could you wash it for me?
I can wash it for you. But it's going to take about a half an hour. Think you can stay put for that long?
I could use a breather. It's been another track and field day.
Yeah, I'll wait.
Well, hand it over then, and I'll see what I can do. Must say, I'm proud of this one. It's pretty nice underneath all that filth. I hope you'll have an easier life in your hands.
Oh, thank you. What's further down the coast?
Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time, even.
Why is it abandoned?
Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then.
So, they don't hold services there anymore? The Ecclesiastes?
No, we've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church.
Interesting.
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking.
I get a feeling you're leaving stuff out. What else is going on?
Well, there's that music. Music from across the sea. It started a few days ago, and now it's blasting even through the night. And now, suspicious-looking people are sneaking around the church. I don't like that.
Interesting. You could look into this ruckus if you have the time.
What else is down the coast?
Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses, empty.
Well, which is it then? Apartments or an electrical plant?
I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something. Before the war. I wasn't here then, you know. Was born in Samara.
Anything else?
Of note? The old fish market up on the boardwalk. But it's closed.
That's it? Gotta be more along the coast.
What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End. Used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible. And now you know everything there is to know about this coast.
What's in the fishing village?
Just us. It's barely a village anymore. We almost don't exist.
What do you mean?
This is pretty much a non-place. A gap. A blank spot on the map. Just a cluster of nameless shacks on a nameless street.
The place is so pornographically poor, it's not even funny.
Is there a way to make a little money around here?
Here? For you? No, officer. The only money we have here is some coins the drunks tried hiding from their women and then forgot about.
This place is pornographically poor.
The lack of wealth is the one thing we've got in abundance.
Noticed.
It's a cold, cynical smile.
Riddles. Fits with the general ambiance here.
Aye. Sometimes it's as though I'm also gotten lost inside this nameless nothing.
Well, I'm lost too.
Oh. It seems to be a common theme these days.
I think I'm in the process of finding myself again.
Isn't that what people always think when they are lost? Something I can do for you to find your way, officer?
Who else lives in the village?
Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks live in the house to the east. But they are away right now. And then there's the drunks. Not a pretty sight, but there's little we can do about it. Home is home, even for them.
I met Lillian and the twins already.
Lillian is tough. Tougher than the men here, at least. If it wasn't for her and the kids, this place wouldn't have a spark of life left.
I think I also met the drunks.
I'm sure you did. Nature keeps them in rotation. A new face pops up every now and then an old one disappears and is forgotten. This is who we are.
Gotta be something here, tell me.
Over there, you can find more of the same. Shacks and trees growing wild. That's the pox.
The pox?
An old military hospital and its surroundings. Or it used to be, during the time of the suzerain. After the war, it was turned into a goodwill hospital for shell-shock veterans and folks looking for some quiet in the old sanatorium gardens. Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless streets and makeshift houses. Shacks as far as the eye can see.
What happened to the hospital?
The goodwill ran out. The staff left and the place was shut down. It's long gone by now.
Ugh. All right, another topic I'd like to address.
She nods, rinsing another piece of cloth.
Tell me about yourself. Who exactly are you here?
Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me Isabel, if that's what you're asking. And my married name is Sadie.
Isabel Sadie.
Now it's your turn, Mr.
Lieutenant W. Fritter Hirio Dubois.
Quite a handle you got there. So many titles. One of them double.
I don't think I really want her signature. I'm off. Well, lower drama, but higher other stuff, so... I'm not talking. That's not a bad piece of kit. Yeah, probably. What are these doing in the fish?
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer?
It's my motor carriage in the sea, by the way.
Oh. That's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea?
I got drunk and apparently drove it into the sea.
This calls for a funeral, if you ask me.
You're suggesting we honor the carcass of my former motor carriage?
Aye. Feels deserved, don't you think? Falling in the line of duty like that and all?
What an odd thought. Maybe I should.
Why odd? Our things are a part of our life world. They're made with our human sweat and they share human history. We should care about them as we care about humans. To some extent, at least.
Yeah, it just seems like these days things are treated with more care than the humans that make them.
Life world. Someone's been reading up on last century Gottwaldian philosophers. Play it cool now.
Alright, I'm in, but organizing a funeral takes a lot of time and effort, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. You won't even be able to get it out of the water before early June. And where are you going to bury it? Who to invite? What music to play at the wake? Take it from someone who's been through a few funerals. It's easiest to just leave them there and let nature take care of it.
That's all we have time for right now anyway. Come back here in June and see how you feel about it then. It's not like it's going anywhere.
It's a pity we don't do more frivolous side activities, like rejuvenate the doomed commercial area, or... Yeah, let's focus on things we can actually do, alright?
Absolutely. Things like what, for example?
Well, I'm looking for someone, actually.
Oh? Who?
Well, I've already asked about the crypto.
Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
Be seeing ya. Well, I want to get on Evart's good side, but I don't want to kick these people out of their place. It's not much, but it is theirs. Oh, yeah.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum. You take the legal documents out of the envelope, a 12 to 40 month construction period, and the zoning plan in the addendum. With a confident flourish, you complete your forgery. What do you see on the signature line?
Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter.
Indeed, they look distinctly different and very convincing. These might as well be their actual signatures.
Good. Everard will have to start over with his scheming. When Isabel and Lillian dispute the signatures, the document will be rendered null and void.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you, Kim.
Any halfway competent notary should be able to handle this. Not getting their actual signatures was probably the best thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now all we have to do is mail these. I think I saw a mailbox on the plaza.
All right. I do like that Kim is all for me doing illegal shit if it means, you know, things are better for the people.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito, bullet holes, and an RCM sticker.
I knew to use this mailbox for something.
Yes, for sending mail.
Let's
You drop
send
the
it.
white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what sounds like a couple of letters. About a week's worth of mail as collected in there. They'll empty this very soon. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug, Everard. You know he's going to play you somehow.
All right, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Like, I'm not sure if it's how the game's written or if it's just my play style, but it feels like Kim thinks I'm crazy, but my heart's in the right place, so he's more than happy to help me out.
Mr. Dubois,
Absolutely.
every worker is a god, right? What can I do for you today?
Actually, Avart, according to the great alien gods that gave us the Puma Man, every man is a god. Every man is free. But it's done. I mailed the signatures you asked me to mail.
The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. Of course. I already knew this.
Yeah, maybe, Seth, maybe.
My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a future and proven to be a true man of the left. I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
Okay.
See, forging that signature really paid off. Well done, sire. By guile and deceit, you're in.
Can I get my gun back now?
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me, but it had to be done.
Fine, where is it?
An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character, so watch out.
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described as terrifying.
So the gun's still with the woman who bought it from Roy.
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway,
Union Boy's gonna help you fix it. He winks at you. Don't worry, Harry.
the neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debardairs Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
Waving the gun around doesn't sound good. None of this does.
Who is the old woman?
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
Well, pretty dangerous.
There it is again. The pigs. Like Roy said, not good at all.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
It actually sounds extremely bad, but let's not give him the satisfaction.
She is waving it around at people?
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's unstable, but don't worry. No one got hurt.
It sounds like a very disturbed and desperate individual.
Can you set up a meeting?
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff.
All right.
She will be there from 2200 hours till 0200 hours.
Okay.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
So, did you order the hangman killed?
Order it? You know my men didn't kill him. They told you. It was a happy accident. You know how it is. No one takes the initiative. If I wanted him dead, I would have had to do it myself. And I'm too fat for that.
Well, what did you gain from him being dead?
Why, a war, of course.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war.
Ever heard what two giant Serenese hornets can do to an entire colony of bees? They destroy it.
I have. It's a great story, Harry. Did you also know how the bee colony kills the giant hornet? They swarm and blanket it entirely until it suffers a massive heat stroke and dies.
He crosses his hands contently, thinking of the interior temperature of the wasp.
Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1. And that's just Martin Ames. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste.
How's this connected to the strike?
Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
Okay.
The word fuck rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear often.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her asshole. She has no chance.
Why are you telling me your plans?
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start. It's already happening.
How many of you guys are in the union?
2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labor organization in Revachol.
Who killed the hangman?
No idea. Could have been his own mother for all I know. If you ever find the guy, Give him a big fat kiss from Everard Clare. Couldn't have done it without him.
He really doesn't know. A guy, huh?
How do you know it's a guy?
I don't. I told you it could have been his own mother. I'm pretty sure it wasn't anyone from the Union. Maybe it was the mob. Or maybe he killed himself because he was a closet socialist. Truth is, I simply don't know.
He really doesn't.
How are you going to fund your new independent harbor?
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of everything.
Okay.
Clients would take a well-known multinational conglomerate over a local mobster any day.
Can't possibly hope to continue like you have. Clients will leave en masse.
Sure, some will go, but mark my words. The company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
That's drugs.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samaran Isola. You don't need to be colonialist about it. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities.
That's just the tip of the iceberg, though, isn't it?
The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column. We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his Benefed, and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off Risperazole.
Benefed is a children's cold medicine, usually apricot flavored, and risperazole is used to treat severe psychosis.
And the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolidone.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned. But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share. And I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez.
He's basically admitting to it.
Okay. Yeah, rainbow party. Look, I just want to solve this murder, okay?
You know why you're such a good detective, Harry. You don't get sidetracked. You care about the people you're supposed to protect, not some systems that may or may not be unethical. Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbour's turnover, just like the harbour is, but a small part of Martinez.
So, is there a trade or isn't there?
Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who want to start businesses. Models who want to walk catwalks and steel welders who want to weld steel. I'm going to unite them all into one economic body. We're going to incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's going to be in on the wealth. And everyone's going to pull their weight.
Well... See, that all sounds good until you deal with someone who, might be sick or infirmed, and then what happens? Honestly, it's just not my place to judge or express an opinion because none of the other responses sound great.
Harry, the length you're willing to go to keep your nose clean is remarkable. You will always have a warm bed in Mr. Clare's household, my friend, and a special place in the future of Martinez.
I guess that's it for now.
Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union. This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open.
I guess I'm gonna leave now, but we might talk again later. Yeah. Like, on one hand, I like Everett because his whole background is, well, it seems like his whole motive is helping out his workers, which I can certainly agree with that, but it kind of goes into fanatical territory to the point where it's like, so at what point do you consider what to do with the quote-unquote undesirables? I mean, Evart himself says he can't really move, so physically he's not doing anything, which is fine, but okay. $2,100, $2,200.
It's you again. What is it?
I guess I'm gonna be leaving now.
The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Yeah. Maybe.
These are some wonderfully regular pants. Not too tight, not too loose, moderate in every sense. You'll blend right in at some pleasant dinner party.
Oops, a fashion faux pas.
Let's hope no one saw you wearing those outrageously regular, almost moralist pants. The pockets of these new jeans are perfect for sticking your hand into. Makes you look cool, calm, and collected. As your hand enters the pocket, your fingers brush against something, soft, yet crinkly. Hey, it's a chewing gum wrapper. It reminds you of the fruity juice of apricots. You should inspect it closer if you have time. Something about the wrapper's texture is familiar. By the way, the raw materials were most likely exported from Seaguy, the apricot suzerainty, and processed in sur-le-clay into the apricot-flavored chewing gum loved by kids of today and yesterday. Something about it is familiar, and not only to your fingers.
Interesting. Given where this game was made, it's... yeah.
A crinkled chewing gum wrapper. The worn label reads, Tutti Frutti. It smells faintly of apricots, with a barely noticeable twinge of cinnamon.
Cinnamon
You
gum.
feel compelled to point out that there's nothing fruity about cinnamon. It's a spice derived from tree bark.
I don't even care about this.
Good question. There is no answer or secret phrase written on the inside of the wrapper. Yet you're drawn to it. Drawn by regret. Stop before you hurt yourself with a Tutti Frutti wrapper. Throw it away, please.
Cinnamon's not a fruit.
Can a used wrapper shrug? Seems like that's what the wrapper is doing somehow. This is not about flowers or bark. What is this about? Why are you looking at this wrapper?
I'll hang on to it, just
You
in
carefully
case.
fold the wrapper into a square before putting it back into your pocket, lovingly even, despite the strange feeling of regret. The stage is all set up for your performance. You feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady suddenly.
Oh?
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Well, we got about a 50-50% chance. Let's try it.
The air is thick with anticipation. The stage is all...
So, are you ready for your thing now?
The air...
Yeah, it's a little thing, but
The
I want to
stage is
win.
all set up for...
So, are you ready for your...
The air is thick with anticipation. Someone dims the lights as the music starts. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I would often go there to the tiny church there. The smallest church in San. Though it once was larger. How the realm may rest there. Down through the mist there. Toward the Seven Sisters. Toward those pale cliffs there. couldn't stay there. In that tiny yard there. I have been so glad here. Looking forward to the past here. But now, you are all alone. None of this matters. No, none of this matters at all.
Very spoken word. Gain 30 experience.
A lazy applause fills the room. You feel your hands shake as awareness of your body returns to you.
Thank you, ancient reptilian brain. I'd like to dedicate this song to my partner, Kim Kitsuraki.
The lieutenant doesn't say anything, but gives you a quick smile before turning away. He's incapable of blushing, but if he weren't, he'd blush.
Oh, he's capable of blushing.
Good, good. Are we ready? I want to unplug the microphone now.
Last words?
Leave him wanting more. Say nothing. Leave enigmatically. Okay. So 21 is where is the next time.
The Greatest Innocence by João Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego. The book is large and heavy.
Oh, crack it
Browsing
open.
through the book again, you still have trouble understanding the torrent of information. It only seems to add to the confused jumble of facts inside your brain. Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This might take a few minutes. You ready?
Okay, can definitely do better this time.
It seems rather unfair to try again after you already know the answers. But sure, if this makes you feel better, here we go again. Question 1. Who was the first Innocence? Oh yeah, this is what I was made for.
Okay. The Pernakison?
Correct. Nothing much is known about him. It's not even clear that he was a he, but Franco Negro presumed as such and called him Pius. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. It's said he invented God and equality of men before God. He also introduced the gold standard as a way for measuring people's love for Aurum.
Yeah, still sick. Yeah, feels rough too.
As the first innocence, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It is presumed his disciples were the beginning of the Holy Party, the founding party. Question 2. Who was the strongest innocence? Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody.
Okay. I do feel like Harry Dubois. Bah. Franco Negro?
Correct. Named the innocence of militarism, he codified hereditary rule, but at the same time ended serfdom and established the Inter-Isolari Real as the global reserve currency. He also established the concept of the nation. Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy and bourgeoisie by building a unified society in which every man has a place and a mission, but at the same time may rise to nobility provided on the strength of his virtue. Question 3. Who was the false innocence? Got it under control. No problem. Solid on this one. It's widespread historical information.
That'd be Erno Pasterak?
Correct. There have been a number of counter or false innocences, some assumed to have innocentic qualities, some who just thought so themselves. Occasionally, they have the support of a faction inside the ecclesiastic organization, and accusations of foul play have arisen. The most famous and important of these was Erno Pasterak. He was into torture, despotism, hymns, cannons, and world conquest, but got defeated and humiliated by Stepan the Despicable of Kedra.
He was into hymns. Jeez.
Final stretch. You've come so far and learned so much. This is the most important one. Question 4. Who was the greatest innocence? The most important of them all. The most precious to humankind. I've got it. Honest.
Well, this one would be Dolores Day.
Correct. The Mesk might see Franco Negro as the father of nations, but as of this century, there's been a great shift in attitude. Dolores Day has become widely regarded as the greatest innocence. A most radical change to the whole fabric of the world. Everything from inter-esolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow, and more beautiful.
Uh-oh.
Congratulations on finishing the test again. The results and your subsequent grade have been calculated. You get an A. All correct. Impressive. Oddly so. You really navigated some treacherous waters here. Well done.
Got you this time. Not so smart anymore, are you?
The lieutenant is doing his best to ignore your behavior. Yeah, sure. It's so much easier once you know the answers, right?
I think that's 2 skill points I've got. See, physical instrument would probably be useful. As well as electrochemistry. I guess we can try that. Yeah, I'll probably stop once we hit 2 hours proper. And thank you, Feiger. Do appreciate everyone's concern.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Ah. Wow. 3%.
This medicine cabinet is stocked with drugs, plus an old toothbrush, and a bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it, in sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container.
Preptide. What the heck is that? Ah, it's a drug. Lieutenant, I also see a brand called Preptide.
Preptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed.
Ah.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy.
What's so exciting about this orange bottle?
It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed.
Yeah, I'm not grabbing that.
Hello again. How can I help you? Hello again. How can I help you?
Is Roy high, and if yes, what is he on?
Nope, still no clue.
Hello again. How can I help?
Nope, still.
Hello again. How can I help?
Nope, still.
Hello again. How can I help you?
Nope.
I mean, it's pretty low at 28%, but...
Hello again. How can I help?
Nope.
Yep, I'm safe scumming it.
How can I help?
Nope.
Hello again. How can I help?
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Parolidon. It's tough to come by on the street.
I mean, I'm not going to try to save scum my way through important things, but if it feels like it's just ancillary, I'll probably, just whatever.
A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has
Oh.
psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
It's just me, or is it really warm in here?
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature.
I see.
There's a note of indignation in its voice. Interesting.
No judgment, just curious. I probably did a lot of Parlohan before I lost my memory.
I've had to take it. You know, Since the People's Pile cleanup, I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade.
Ah.
He's taken for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
Must have been tough, radioactive cleanup.
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened, and why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment, and early deaths. Cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could.
Whose fault was that the generator failed?
No one's. Everyone's.
I see.
So much bitterness.
Understandably.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor.
Oh.
Hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen?
So, tell me more about this emergency relief brigade you were part of.
We were an all-volunteer force. Self-organized. Tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill.
Mm-hmm.
On the patch, gamma radiation lines crossed with a red drop of blood.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance. Didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out.
Yeah, nuclear reactor is not something you want amateurs to do.
There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years getting sick.
The People's Pile, what's that?
A bad idea.
Yeah.
Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you, too.
Probably. How'd you end up running a pawn shop?
The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it.
Oh boy.
So I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forburg as I can. Still in the same city, but...
Thanks for telling me.
I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
I don't think I need your drugs. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna ask him for that. I gotta go now. Still got 2 hours left.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna save there. And yeah, it's going okay, aside from, you know, me dying. But, yeah, I think tomorrow we'll be finishing up the rest of Tale of Iron and possibly starting up Dragon Quest IV. If not tomorrow, I've got Monday off. So I'll probably be doing another stream then. But thank you. Thank you all. And hope you all have a great evening as well.